Donald Trump thinks he's playing a game where he's intimidating the North Koreans. And it seems that other people who are smarter about this stuff realize, like, North Korea has very few options. And one of them is not to give up their nukes and to, capitulate. I mean, it's an autocratic society. They can't show weakness. And Donald Trump doesn't seem to understand this. And people are afraid that we're getting into a brinksmanship that could be disastrous.
Well, yes, that's exactly right. And, think about, I heard some statistics, and I can't vouch for them, but I heard it, that they figure that in the first day of any kind of, and this isn't necessarily even a nuclear confrontation, if war breaks out or that some kind of military confrontation leads to war breaking out, they figure that 1 million people will die the first day in South Korea. There will be 2 million dead between Seoul and Tokyo if that happens. I mean, these people are all in very close proximity. We're not talking about San Francisco, at least not yet, or even Honolulu or Guam. We're talking about two countries that are right there. He doesn't need to have ICBMs and nuclear weapons,
right,
to absolutely create, one of the worst holocausts that we have seen since World War II. This could absolutely happen. And Trump doesn't seem to understand this. He said last week he was in a meeting with Justin Trudeau from Canada, and they were talking about whatever, NAFTA and what have you. And he was asked about this, and he said, when it comes to North Korea, I listen to everyone's advice, but I have a different attitude than most people, and my attitude is the one that matters. I'm stronger and tougher. And, his attitude is the one that matters. He said that outright. I do not trust the idea that this guy is going to is playing a game. I'm not sure that he is. I think he thinks that he's intimidating, exactly as you say, and has zero understanding of the game, the negotiation or the intimidation dominance game that he's playing. He does not understand the stakes. The empathy observation that you made is absolutely correct. He doesn't see that. I mean, 1 million people in Seoul, South Korea could die on the first day if he makes a miscalculation here. And he's just popping off on Twitter saying, he changed the stakes in all this. He told the foreign minister of Korea via Twitter that if he said anything he didn't like, that he would destroy the country. He didn't say if you do something we don't like. He said if you say something we don't like. So he's talking about preemption here. And that is a whole new level when you're talking about a nuclear-armed state. It's very, very scary, very.
It's terrifying. And I think there does seem to be, and in the next hour I want to talk a little bit more about maybe the media, but and the sort of the thing that's becoming clearer to me is as we start to get a sense of where Donald Trump is and is not losing his popularity. The media on this, there's like a similar quality to almost to global warming. It gets mentioned, but it's almost as if everyone is just like, we are at the mercy of maybe a couple of military generals in the White House stopping Donald Trump from, launching an attack on North Korea. Sort of, and that's the best case scenario. That's a horrible scenario. You don't want to have to be relying on the military.
Oh my God. His handpicked generals.
Of course. And, I wouldn't want to rely on my handpicked generals to be there. You don't want generals at all.
That's not how it works. That's not how this works.
But we're all just sort of, it's as if Donald Trump has rounded us all up and forced us to sit here and watch some horrible, horrible movie. And we have there's no escaping it. It really is bad. And, and the bottom line is the silence from the Republican Party, which who enables this president, is shocking and deafening.